all boils down to this, folks, as we enter match number 6 over the Europa Conference League. Who's going to go through? Who's going to go home? We'll take a little look. Nah. That's right, folks. Barba's Game and our prediction video today. We look forward to match number 6 over the Europa League, Conference League, whatever you want to call it, over in, of course, Europe. And we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe and look at your mag update. All things Europa League related, Blabberose related. Woo! Football League, we're all here, boys. Under one rooski, of course. Yes, some clubs are already out, some clubs are already through, but who will actually go through to the second round, or whatever it is, in the old Europa Conference League? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a minute. A big shout out to my VRPs. They are the Patreons. Thank you for loving, of course, behind the scenes. And of course, if you want to help us out, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Romacy. So here we go then, guys. Recap the games that did place in match number 5. Of course, bring you bang up to date with the league tables and all that kind of jazz, and in the prediction league, and of course the group standings. So lots to get through here. So let's get into it. HJK Helsinki picked up a 1-win over Alashkert in match day number 5. I won with the 2-1 win myself. Maccabi Tel Aviv. They lost to LASK, of course. Big win for the Austrians there. Anorthosis, Famagusta picked up a 1 over KAA Gent. A bit of a surprise on that one. Flora also beat Partizan Belgrade. So Partizan Belgrade, 1-0 win in the end for them. Roma got back to winning ways with a 4-0 win over Zorya Lugansk. With Bodø Glimt, I think already through 2-0 wins over CSKA Moscow. Jablonec also picked up a cheeky draw against AZ Alkmaar, with Randers picking up a 2-1 win over Cluj. Meanwhile, Union Berlin picked up a 1 over Maccabi Haifa over in Israel. And of course, there was a 2-2 draw between Slavia Prague and Feyenoord. Red Imps got smashed by Copenhagen, as they do. Slovan Bratislava picked up a 0 draw against PAOK. Meanwhile, probably the shock of the day was, of course, Mura's 2-1 win over Spurs. That's right, I'm talking about Tottenham Hotspurs. That's right. And of course, Rennes picked up a 3-3 thriller against BAT's Arn. And finally, there, KAA picked up a 3-2 loss against Basel. And of course, Qarabağ and Armenia Nicosia picked up a 2-2 draw. So, what does that do with the grand old scheme of things over in the Conference League tables? Let's have a little look at it. Well, first, we're going to take a look at how you guys got on. And bit of bish bash bosh. Handsworth picking up 10 out of, I think, 16 there. So well done to you, guy, for kicking ass and taking names there. Yanni Buster and Shepard kicks ass and takes with a 10-piece. Well, let's take a look at the leaderboard and grand scheme of things. This Gaming Charlie and Yannick Buster kicking ass and taking names. 46 points on the board. They are your current leaders. They are, of course, I've got the mega pants on, of course, and dominating this one. But it is very, very tight, as you can see. 3 points separate Gaming Charlie all the way down to Yurin, who is in 7th spot. Then Winky, of course, and then Dr. YouTube makes up the last bit as well. Let's kick it on forward, then take a look at the tables. Of course, now these are the illustrious tables. Lasic are through. Home and Hose. I think it's the top team goes through to like beyond the next round, and I think the second place team plays a playoff against maybe the Europa League teams that are coming down. So we'll figure this out as we go along. But Lasic, they are at least they're not going out, so they can actually finish second, but of course Cosmic Tel Aviv come into this with a stronger goal difference, so it's not all home and hose. Of course, they want to find out who's going to come out on top bigs there. Meanwhile, Group B sees Gent in command there with Partizan Belgrade. Duke out for second spot. They've not home and hose yet, so Gent are actually at least through to some stage next time around. Bodø Glimt are through. Roma are just about, they're through as well. So again, they're going to find out who's going to be top of the pops out of that group as well. So it's going to be a crunch clash to the games. But Bodø Glimt and Roma, they are through to one stage or another. Meanwhile, AZ Alkmaar are also home and hose. They are through as champions. That is settled. They won't have to do no playoff. Meanwhile, Randers have got a bit of a job on the hands against Jablonec, still to be decided. Feyenoord are also home and hose. They are through, of course, to the actual second round there. Of course, Slavia Prague and Union Berlin. Duke out with Maccabi Haifa as well. Still with the outside shot, but got a lot of work for them to do to go through. So Copenhagen are there as well. They're home and host with a two-way tie for the second spot. Slavia Bratislava and PAOK duking out for Group F second spot. Meanwhile, Rennes, they are there with Tottenham and Partizan duking out for, of course, second spot. Again, it could be an upset if, of course, Spurs don't go through. Partizan will be there or thereabouts as well. So tight game into it. I think, are they locking horns against each other? It could be, actually. I think it is over in London. So, of course, winner takes all on that one. Basel and Qarabağ are both through, home and hose. And again, still going to have bragging rights on that one to see who will go through as winners. If you want to get involved, /ECL picks to get involved. Let's take a look at it then, shall we? Of course, here we go. Alashkert up against Maccabi Tel Aviv. Let's take a little look at this one. Let's get my odds on the board then on this one, shall we? So we got Alashkert taking on Maccabi Tel Aviv. All take place on Thursday, December the 9th, I believe. Now, they play each other just the one time. Of course, talk about that in a minute. Of course, coming into this, though, Alashkert winning 3 and losing 3 of the last 6. 50% form up against Maccabi Tel Aviv. So just 1 defeat in the last 6. 7% form for them as well. Last round was a 4-1 win for Tel Aviv. Way back in, of course, in Tel Aviv. Back in September. Of course, Alashkert did beat Novrach. Last round, of course, Maccabi Tel Aviv picked up a 1-1 draw against Halgali over in the Premier League over in Israel. Look at the odds on this one. We have 5-1 as your host on this one. 50-8 on HJK Tel Aviv. They are high favourites. Score 35 is your draw. I'm going to go with a cheeky win here for nobody. 1-1 right down the middle on this one. Lasic, they're going to be taking on HJK Helsinki. Of course, now these two sides up each other just the one time. Of course, we'll talk about that in a minute. Lasic comes to just 1 defeat the past 5 for them, 58% form up against the HJK Helsinki side. I've also just lost once the past 5, 58% form for them as well. Last round was the 2-0 win for Lasic. That was in Helsinki. Of course, last round, the TSV Hartberg picked up a 2-1 win over Lasic. That was in the Bundesliga. That was, of course, back on the 28th of November. HJK Helsinki picked up a 1-0 win over Alashkert. Last round, that's back on the 25th of November as well. So it looks like the Finnish league is over with. Taking it on a break at least. 5-2 on is your Lasic on this one. 65 is your draw. 61 is your away win. That's HJK Helsinki. 2-0 win for me. Lasic taking to the house. Partizan Belgrade taking on Anorthosis. Famagusta, this is over in Group B. Now, they play each other just the one time, of course, and we'll talk about that shortly. Of course, just 1 defeat about 6 games, full power. Belgrade, 67% form for them. Up against the Anorthosis from Famagusta side, who have just lost. We've just won once the past 4 games, 50% form as well. Last time it was in Cyprus, it was a 2-0 win for Belgrade. That was, of course, back in September. Of course, Belgrade picked up a 1-0 win over GFK Dobraccia over in the domestic cup there, around 16. Meanwhile, Famagusta did lose to Paik over in Cyprus, of course, 3-2 last round. Look at the odds on this one. What do we have? We have 94 on is your Partizan on this one. 3-1 is your draw. 11-2 is your away win. That's the Cypriots on this one. 2-1 for the host to be on this one. Then we have KAA Gent taking on, of course, FC Flora. Let's take a look at this one now over in Belgium. Now these two sides have played each other just at one time, of course. 75% form for Gent. Just 1 defeat about 6 games for them. Up against the Flora side, who have unbeaten the last 6 games. 92% form for them as well. Last round was a 1-0 win for Gent. That was back in September. Of course, Gent coming to this on the back of a 1-0 win over Ubit Helve in the Junior League. They've got coming to this on the back of 2 clean sheets. Up against the Flora side, who have not lost in, like I said, 5 games at the very least. 5-1 win over Levada Tallinn last time. Look at the odds on this one. We have Gent 3-1 on for the victory. 52 is your way win. That's Tallinn. Of course, 4-1 is your draw. Tight one here. Going to go with a 3-1 win though for Gent. Smashing it in the CSKA Sofia. They're going to take on Roma, of course, over in Group C. Now these two sides have played each other 5 times since 2009. 3 wins for Roma, 1 for CSK. And we've got 1 draw, of course. CSK giving us winning 3 and losing 3 of the last 6. 50% form up against the Roma side. Winning 3 and losing 3 of the last 6. 50% form as well. Of course, Roma did beat CSKA Sofia last round. That was, of course, back in September 2021. And last time they played though in Bulgaria was a 3-1 win for CSKA Sofia back in December 2020. Of course, CSKA Sofia picked up a 2-0 win over Lokomotiv Sofia. That was the last round. Of course, Roma picked up a loss against Internazionale. That's, of course, hot off the press on that one. Meanwhile, odds on this one 52 is, of course, Sofia on this one 3-1 on is Roma. Of course, 65 is your draw. 2-1 win for Roma on this one to take it to the house. Zorya, Lugansk. They're going to be taking on, of course, Bodø Glimt. Let's get into this one now over in Ukraine. I know this, that's my Ukrainian knowledge. I played each other just the one time. Of course, Zorya Lugansk coming to this, losing 2 of the last 6 of them, 6-7% form. I guess the Bodø Glimt side, who are unbeaten in their last 12 away matches, haven't lost in the last 23 games. They're, of course, on red hot form, 75% form for them, winning 3 and drawing 3 of the last 6. Of course, last round in was in Norway. It was back in September 2021. Of course, Lugansk picked up a 1-0 win over Alexandria over the Ukrainian Premier League. Know all about it. Also, of course, Bodø Glimt picked up a 0-0 draw against Rosenborg. In Rosenborg. Look at the odds on this one. We got 23-10 is your Zorya Lugansk, 20-17 on is your Bodø Glimt, and 3-1 is your draw. I'm going to go with the 2-0 for Bodø Glimt on this one to take it to the house. AZ Alkmaar will take on Randers. Of course, that's coming at you, say, match day. Of course, over in the Dutchlands, and these two sides have played each other just the one time. Of course, heading into this, AZ Alkmaar just 1 defeat past 6, 58% form. Up against the Randers side, just 1 defeat in the past 5, 50% form as well. Last round was a 2-2 draw over in Denmark. Of course, AZ picked up a 2-1 over Sittard, of course, on the 2nd of December. Meanwhile, Brøndby DB Randers last round. Look at the odds here. Even Stevens is your AZ, 11-5 is your way with us. Randers, and 5-2 is your draw. Going to go with the 2-1 for AZ on this one. Cluj will take on Jablonec. Same group here, of course. Now these two side players just one time, of course. Cluj given to this just 1 defeat past 5, 6-7% form. Up against the Jablonec side, just 1 win and 6 for them, 42% form for them as well. Last round, of course, was over in Jablonec. It was a 1-0 win for Jablonec. That was back in September, of course. Cluj picked up a 1-0 win over Chinda Tagogovista over the domestic league. Of course, picking up back-to-back clean sheets as well. Jablonec did lose to Malad Boleslav over in the domestic league as well. Look at the odds on this one. We've got 38 is your Cluj, 31 to 20 is your Jablonec, and 11 to 5 is your type on this one. 2 to win, though. Cluj will take it to the house. Union Berlin will take on Slavia Prague over in Berlin. Of course, now these two sides have played each other earlier, just the one time. Of course, coming at you, though. In fact, they played each other twice. It'll be the third time. One of the other ones was a friendly, so don't really count, of course. Berlin coming to this on the back of just 1 defeat past 5 for them, 58% form up against the Slavia Prague, so unbeaten in the last 9 games. Of course, coming at you, 92% form for them as well. Last round was a 3-1 win for Slavia Prague. That was in Prague. That was back in September. Of course, Berlin picked up a 2-1 win over Leipzig. Bit of trouble there for Leipzig at the moment. Meanwhile, Slavia Prague picked up a 1-0 win over Jablonec over in their respective league, of course. Look at the odds on this one: 11 to 10 on Union Berlin. The eye famous 11 to 4 is your away win. That's of course Slavia Prague, and 12 to 5 is your draw. 3-1 win for Berlin on this one to smash it past Slavia Prague. Feyenoord, they're going to be taking on Maccabi Haifa over in the Dutchlands as well. Now these two sides, of course, play each other earlier. Of course, we'll talk about it in a minute. Of course, 83% form for Feyenoord, unbeaten in the last 10 games. Of course, up against the Maccabi Haifa side, just 1 defeat in the past 4 games, 58% form for them as well. Of course, last night was a 0-0 draw over in Israel. That's back in September. Of course, Feyenoord picking up a 2-1 win over Almelo. Of course, on the 1st of December. Meanwhile, Maccabi Haifa picking up a 5-1 win over Hapoel Haifa. Of course, that was back on the 2nd of December as well. Look at the odds on this one. We have Feyenoord coming out 50 to 8 on for the victory. 3-1 draw. 94 is your way win. That's Maccabi Haifa on this one. 2-0 win for the hosts on this one. Copenhagen, they're going to be taking on Slovan Bratislava. That is, of course, over in Group, what is it? Is it Group F? Now, they played each other earlier. Talk about that shortly. Copenhagen picking up unbeaten in the last 6 games, picking up 4 wins and 2 draws, 83% form up against the Slovan Bratislava, who haven't lost the last 15 games, just in fact, picking up 5 wins the last 6, 92% form for them as well. Last time was a 3-1 win for Copenhagen. That was back in September 2021. Of course, Copenhagen came to the back of a 3-1 win over Aalborg. Slovan Bratislava picked up a 2-1 win over Slap Mariachi over their respective league. They're 38 on is your Copenhagen, 40 to 5 Shaw, 40 to 4 is your away win. That's Slovan Bratislava. 2-1 win, Copenhagen on this one. And then, of course, in the same group is PAOK. They'll be taking on, of course, Lincoln Red Imps of Gibraltar. Now, of course, over in Greece. They should earlier, of course, PAOK coming to just 1 win and 6 for them, 33% form up against a Lincoln Red Imps side who've just lost twice, about 67% form for them as well. Of course, that's around for PAOK was a 1-1 draw in Larissa in the Greek Cup round of 16. They'll go again there. Meanwhile, Lincoln Red Imps picked up a 3-1 win over Mons Calpe over the Gibraltar Premier League, of course. Look at the odds on this one then. We've got PAOK at 21 on for the Richie 91 Shaw, 21 long shots. That's, of course, Lincoln Red Imps. Going to go with the 3-0 win for PAOK on this one. Of course, must-win game now, of course. It is Spurs. They actually take on Rennes, but of course, before that, as Beatties Arnhem, they've taken on Mura. Of course, if Beatties win, it will all depend on what happens between Spurs and Rennes. Of course, Beatties coming to just 1 loss in the past 5% form up against Mura side, who have actually unbeaten the last 4, 58% form. Of course, last time around was a 2-0 win for Beatties. That was over in Mura. Of course, Mura picked up a 1-0 win over Tabor Sanzina, of course, in the domestic league there. Beatties Arnhem picked up a 6-1 win over Cambor, and that was, of course, hot off the press today. Look at the odds on this one. We have Beatties 6-1 on for the victory, 10-1 is your long shots, Mura, and of course, 6-1 is your draw. Beatties Arnhem winning this one, 3-0 win in the end. Spurs up against Rennes, of course, over in the London Fancy Pants Stadium, or whatever they want to call it, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Of course, Spurs coming to just 1 defeat past 5, 58% form up against the Rennes side, just 1 defeat past 6 for them, 75% form as well. Last round was a 2-2 draw over in Rennes. Of course, Spurs picking up a 2-0 win over Brentford. Of course, Rennes did lose to Lille, of course, back in the 1st of December. Look at the odds on this one. We have Spurs coming at you 72 on for the victory, 72 is your away win at the Rennes, 70-4 is your draw. Conte's boys will win this, 2-1 win, but will it be enough? We'll have to wait and see. Basel will take on Qarabağ. Let's take a look at this one now over in La Suisse. Of course, now these two sides have played each other earlier. Of course, Basel coming to just 1 defeat past 5 for them, 50% form up against the Qarabağ side, who are unbeaten in the last 7 games. Of course, last round in Qarabağ was a 0-0 draw. That was back in September. Of course, Basel picking up a 3-1 win over Lejeune last round. Of course, Qarabağ picking up a 5-1 win over Sarah Mazira over, of course, the respective foreign league they play there. Of course, look at the odds on this one. We have Basel 5-4 on for the 16-5 is your away win. That's Qarabağ, and of course 13-5 is your draw. 2-0 win for Basel on this one to wrap it up. And then finally, Nicosia up against Kadiat, of course, over in Group H, played each other earlier. Of course, Nicosia unbeaten last 4 games, 50% form up against Kadiat side, just 1 defeat in the last 4, 58% form. Of course, last round was a 0-0 draw in Kadiat. That was back in September. Of course, Nicosia picked up a 2-2 draw against Qarabağ last round. Of course, Kadiat picked up a penalty shootout win over Shakhtar Karagay over, I don't know what the heck that is. I don't even know what the heck that is. Cup, maybe? I don't even know. Of course, look at the odds on this one. Nicosia 11-10 on for the victory, 5-2 short, 11-4 is your Wayman Kadiat. 2-1 win for the Cypriots on this one to take it to the house. And I think that will conclude there, of course, European action. Of course, if you want to conclude your Europa Conference League action, make sure you get your picks in using that code there, CUTLY4US. ECL picks. That, my friends, is what I've got for you. Make sure you get your picks involved. Make sure you smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check out links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course, Patreon as well. Until then, guys, I'll see you soon for the next one, which of course will be the round of 16 or whatever the heck it is over in the Conference League. And of course, we'll recap my early draw picks way back when. And until then, guys, I'll see you soon for the next one. I am out of here.